Well, now I really regret not reviewing the Fosters individually to you guys, because after that, holy shit, I just might in the summer. Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be my review for the second half of the season of the Fosters, because if you guys remember, I really did not like the mid-season premiere, so I figured, you know what, I'll just review when the season's over. However, this episode had, like, the biggest cliffhanger ever, so I'm going to talk about the season in general, what I thought of the second half of the season, how I think Season 3 is going to be. I have no idea how Season 3 is going to be now after what we saw, but let's just get into it. There's a lot to talk about. So, what I think of the second half of the season of the Fosters overall, after I stopped reviewing it, it actually got really, really good, I have to say. There is one storyline I completely hated and want nothing to do with it. I am going to talk about it because I have one problem with this season, but other than that, I really enjoyed this second half of the season. I think it was really solid. I think that some of the things they did, I really, really enjoyed, and there were not many things that I didn't like about this season. So, let's just get into it. First of all, we have to talk about Callie, because that was our main storyline this season. The second half of the season was with Callie. Of course, Callie is trying to get custody, Stef and Lena are trying to get full custody of Callie. They're trying to adopt her, and then there's Robert Quinn, who at first you think was trying to push Callie away from them and just trying to, basically not have Callie in the picture and, not have Callie in their lives anymore. But after what happened with Sophia, we realized that they actually took Sophia to get some help, which I love seeing, because they kind of portrayed Robert as, like, this bad guy, and I didn't like the way they were portraying him, so I'm happy they decided to portray him as this nice guy, and who actually did care about Callie, and because he does care about Callie, and he should care about Callie. This is his daughter we're talking about, and I'm happy that eventually we saw that he does care about Callie. And some things stood in Callie's way, though. A lot of things stood in Callie's way. First of all, there was the fact that she need to have this whole court thing, and this court, they need it. I like that Stef and Lena were fully there for her. They were always supporting her, telling her that, look, no matter what you want, we will be there for you. We're going to support you in this. It's your decision on what you want to do, and I'm very happy that they decided to do that. Because it was the best thing that they should have done for her. That they told her that it was her decision. If she didn't want to stay with them, she didn't have to, and they will still love her anyway. One of my favorite things that came up in the season was when they talked to her about, that if she had to leave them, which she never would have to, that even if they were told, she was told that she had to leave, they'd never ask her to leave, which I love seeing. And I really love what happened in the finale, I have to say. There were so many things. Also, she's trying to help out Daphne, who I knew Daphne's child would come back up in the story. Daphne's child, there was that, but I don't really want to talk too much about that. I'm going to get to what happens in the finale overall. Basically, Callie ends up staying with the Quinns, and I really love what ended up happening with Callie and Robert, because Sophia's there, and I'm like, okay, why is Sophia there? Well, Sophia's now completely changed, and she's now in a much better state of mind. She said how it was more of what was happening to her. It was just this, like, weird thing that was happening to her was, like, these, I think she said it was, like, pills or something that was making her have this really negative attitude, but now she's so much more positive about herself. She even appreciates Callie more, which I really love seeing, and she's not, like, obsessive with Callie either. It wasn't like before when she was, like, obsessed with her, which I really love seeing because I was worried about her. But Callie's grandfather, Robert's dad, is also there. Now, he is completely against Callie being there. He thinks that the only reason that Sophia went to this depressive state of mind was because of Callie. And in fact, he even, he really was not a good guy. He's not a good guy. He insults Callie. He likes Sophia a lot more. But as horrible as Robert said is, he does make a good point when he says that it should be up to Callie to decide where she wants to live and who she wants to live with. I do agree with what he says there. However, he's still not really a nice guy. He's not a nice guy. He's not someone I really would want to talk. He's not really someone that I would think has a good opinion or anything. He's just not a nice guy in general. So later that night, Callie tells Robert that she knows he would have taken care of her and Jude if he knew she existed back then, because he didn't know that she existed. If you remember, it took him a while to realize that she was there, and she also tells him, and I like what she tells him, that she does love him and that she wants him to be in her life, but she feels like the Fosters are her home, and where she is happy is with the Fosters, and things end up pretty good between them until he gets a call from a lawyer and realizes that Callie's actually trying to get emancipated, and Robert then takes him into court again, but instead of using this attempted emancipation to get custody of Callie, I like what he says, that he's gonna sign those papers, and he's withdrawing his suit for custody. And I love that he did that, because we're portraying Robert as this good guy, and it really shows that Robert is a good guy, and he does want to help Callie. And I thought that was just a great story. I love the way they did that. I thought it was really well done. My only complaint is that I feel like they did drag it out too long. I feel like this whole thing could have been solved in a couple episodes, but it was dragged out way too long because we focused on other things like Daphne, and then we had Liam's sister come back, who we found out that she was only there, Sarah, because she was only there to, just go against Callie. It was weird, but other than that, I really love what they did with Callie's plot. I thought it was really well done. This is really what they should have done in the first place. I definitely really enjoyed that. I thought that was really well done as well. Also, Callie and Brandon, I really like the way they handled them this season. They are definitely friends. They're not together, which I really love seeing. I like seeing that they are just, also, Wyatt does come up this season. I do want to talk about this. Wyatt comes back this season. He's much more upset, and he's much more rude to Callie. And eventually we realize that Wyatt and Callie are not going to get back together. Wyatt is so much more different. She really wants nothing to do with him. And I really did like that. I thought that was really well done overall, and I definitely thought that was really good. So that was basically Callie's plot, what happens with Callie this season. Let's go into what I thought was the best arc of the season, which you guys are going to be surprised. Jude and Connor. I thought this was probably the best plot this season, because nothing here felt bad, nothing here felt stupid, and for someone who's not usually into gay plots, now, I've said before, if you're gay, I'm very happy for you. You can be yourself, you can say who you are, and you're happy with yourself. You can just tell the world that you're gay and you're happy about that. So I'm happy about that part of it. But I don't like it when they try to, like, overly do it, and I don't think they did that here. I think they did this as a natural thing. It was only inevitable that these two were going to get together. Because, of course, in the premiere, we thought that Jude and Connor, were in the tents with these two girls, and they tried to, make out with them and everything. We thought that's really what was going on here. However, you can tell that there was definitely more going on, because, of course, Connor was ignoring Jude and things like that. You could definitely tell there was more going on. Eventually, Connor and Jude end up with these two girls, who we think are the girls that they tried to make out with in the tent. Those are who we think they are. However, that's not who these girls actually are. We eventually realize that, there are these two girls, Dahlia and what was the other girl's name? Taylor. Dahlia and Taylor. Dahlia gets really close with Connor, and you think that they're gonna start a relationship and everything. In fact, they start kissing and making out. In fact, they all go to the movies together. They get really close, and you can see, though, that Jude and Taylor, they don't have any connection whatsoever. They have no connection. In fact, Taylor doesn't even really seem like she wants to be part of it. She's only there because she is basically, that movie, The Duff? Yeah, she's basically Dahlia's Duff. She's the one that's there because they needed a date for Jude. And one of the things I like about Taylor, though, is that Taylor can tell that Jude is gay. She can tell that Jude's gay. She can tell that he's into Connor. And for a while, it's like, does Connor really care about Jude? But then, during the movies, we see Connor's hand reach someone, and he ends up touching Jude's hand. And it's such a subtle moment, but it's such a well-done moment, because it shows that, yeah, he really does care about Jude, and they really should be together. And I definitely really enjoyed what they did there. So, after this, things get really awkward between Jude and Connor. They don't know really what they should do. They don't really know where their relationship is. And they don't even know if they are in a relationship. So, it's really awkward between them. Especially because, Jude doesn't really know how Connor feels, and eventually they end up staying home alone together, and they actually end up kissing, which I thought was really surprising. And in fact, that kiss is the youngest same-sex kiss on TV. I believe both those actors are like 13, which is really great, I have to say, that the Fosters did that. That's one of the things I love about the Fosters. It's a risk-taking kind of show, and I love that the Fosters did that. I thought that was really well done. So, things get really awkward between them. Jude's not sure if Connor really wants to be in a relationship. He's not sure what that kiss really meant. And eventually, they end up going with Taylor and Dahlia to Dahlia's house, to this girl's house whose parents were really mad at her and everything. They start doing really rebellious things. We found out that Jude actually did shoplift in the Christmas episode, which I thought was really interesting, because I said before I thought he did, but we find out that he actually did shoplift, which I thought was just really interesting overall. And, They end up going to Taylor's parents' house where they're gonna get, you know, get drunk and make out and things like that. And Taylor's dad ends up coming out, and because he didn't realize that they were there, Taylor's dad ends up shooting Connor in the foot, and Connor is fatally, you know, we thought that Connor was going to get killed off there, but he doesn't get killed off. He actually gets shot in the foot, and he's then in the hospital. And I love what they decided to do here, because Connor decides to come out to his dad here. He tells his dad straight out that he is gay, and we find out that the reason that he was ignoring Jude is because his father does not approve of him being gay, and he is not happy about it. And, you know, at first, Jude is told that Connor blamed the whole thing on him, and Jude has no idea what's going on. We eventually find out that was his father that did that. His father made it seem like Connor wanted nothing to do with him, when actually Connor gets into Taylor's phone and basically tells Jude that, look, it had nothing to do with that, I really do care about you, I told my dad I'm gay, that's really what's going on here, and I thought that was really well done, the way they handled that, just the way that they handled that whole plot, I loved it, I love the way it was handled, I love the way they did it, and just, oh, such a great moment. And Jude realizes that Connor's gay and that his father's not going to listen to him, and I love what Jude decides to do. He goes to the hospital, and he refuses to leave until, and this is, by the way, in the finale, these are spoilers now, he refuses to leave until Connor's dad lets him see him, and Lena then shows up and has this great heart-to-heart with Jude. You know, Jude admits that he lied about having girls in the tent, and I love that he tells her the truth, that there weren't any girls in the tent. It was only Jude and Connor, and they kissed, and now they're more than friends, but it's just complicated because Connor just came out to his dad and had to act like he wasn't gay. That is why he was ignoring Jude, and just the fact that they revealed that and the way they did it, I thought was so well done, because we've been getting these weird, you know, he was giving him weird looks, he was giving these weird things that were going on that we didn't really know was going on. So I love that we found out that it was because he came out to his dad, and it was such a well-done reveal. I love the way they did that. It was by far one of the best things the Fosters has done, is reveal that, and that was so well done. So Lena decides to talk to Connor's father about Jude and Connor's relationship, and she explains that even if Connor's dad can keep them apart, he's not going to keep them apart, because they want to be together, and he can't keep every boy away from his son. I love that she said that, and Connor's father claims that he does not care that Jude is gay. He just does not want Connor to be gay too. And you can see that Connor's dad is really homophobic, and you can see that it does do some good, because Connor's dad actually lets Jude in to see Connor, and that scene they have together where Jude's talking to Connor and he tells him that he's not going to leave his sight, it's really adorable, I have to say. And these two, they're young teenagers, so it really is cute to see them together, and just, I really like seeing it. I think they have a lot of chemistry, definitely, and Connor sees Jude, they hold hands, they watch TV together, and we eventually find out that they are a couple now, which I really do like. I mean, normally I wouldn't really like it. I thought it was forced at first, but I love this plot. I really do. I think it was the best well-handled plot. Plus, it got everybody talking. Everybody shipped John after that hand touch thing, and everybody really wanted them together. So I think it was probably the most well-handled thing they did this season, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was really well done, and I definitely really enjoyed what they did with Jude and Connor this season. Definitely really good stuff there. And now we're going to get into the biggest stuff in this season finale, which was Anna's baby. Of course, we were all trying to figure out what was going to happen with Anna's baby. Of course, we know that Jude ended up seeing Anna's baby, and in what was one of the best episodes of the season, where the Fosters go camping, they realize that he is seeing, Mariana realizes that he is seeing Anna from, of course, who tells him, but his girlfriend, now I can remember her name. Now I can't remember his girlfriend's name. That's great. I can't remember her name now. What was her name? Shit, I can't remember her name, guys. I'm serious, I can't remember her name. Let me go to my older videos. What was her name? Haley. Okay, Haley goes to the camping trip and everything, and she ends up revealing the fact that he's seeing Anna's baby, and Mariana realizes that Anna's pregnant, that he's seeing Anna and everything, and from here, we get some really good stuff, because first of all, he ends up dumping Haley, which is good, because I like what they did with her at first, where it seemed like her and Mariana were going to bond, because Mariana forms this dance team, and she sees that Haley's interested, and Haley, for a little while, looks like she was going to join Mariana's dance team. But eventually, Jesus ends up breaking up with her, and I think that was the right thing for him to do. She was really controlling. She wasn't really a good girlfriend towards him. So I really feel like he made the right decision there. I'm happy that he broke up with her because she does deserve to be, because she really was very controlling. She didn't let him have a say in certain things, and really was the right thing that he broke up with her. So he breaks up with her, and eventually what ends up happening is that Anna actually, everyone finds out that Anna's there, and Anna actually wants Stef and Lena to take her baby, which was great because, of course, Frankie died, and Frankie was a stillborn and everything, so this would be a great chance for Stef and Lena to have a baby. So they're really skeptical about doing this because their main concern here is Mariana, because Mariana was already very jealous of Frankie. She's worried that Frankie was going to replace her, and she was just very worried overall about them. So they're not really sure what they should do there, and I like that they weren't really sure. They didn't say, okay, yeah, we'll do it immediately, and they didn't say we'll do it right now, or we'll do it, we'll wait. They didn't say that. They figured out, okay, we're gonna do this, and I really love that they decided that they're gonna wait. And they actually end up letting, now we also find out that, of course, Mike is living with her now, and we think that it's Mike's baby, but we find out that it's actually not Mike's baby. He's just letting her stay there, and everyone's really worried that some bad's going to happen there. But they eventually do decide to let Anna stay with them, and this is in the finale because they wanted to let her stay with them until the baby's born. They do tell her that they're not going to take her baby. They're not going to do that because they just don't feel it's the right thing to do. And Brandon is not really happy about this because, Anna's taking over his room and everything. I thought that was really funny. But the thing that I really love about this is that Mariana is really happy to have Anna there, and they really do connect here. They actually bond a lot, and Anna opens up to Mariana about what it was like growing up with her strict parents, and Mariana actually goes to see her parents, and they explain that Stef and Lena are going to take Anna's baby, because we find out that they are. They tell her that they're not, but they are going to take her baby, and she also tells them that Anna's now staying at their home, so they do not have to worry about her, and Mariana assures her parents that they will be relieved that they do not need to take a baby at that age. So they're somewhat uncomfortable with this happening, with letting Stef and Lena raise another one of their grandchildren, but Anna's parents end up stopping by the house and trying to convince her to keep the baby, saying that they will help her take care of it, and they think that Anna and the baby need to be with their family and not Stef and Lena. But I like that Anna sticks up to them and says that, yeah, that it's really her decision, that she does get to have a say in what she should do here, and I definitely really enjoyed that, and Jesus takes Mariana aside and tells her that he believes Anna wants to keep the baby and that she's only giving her up because it is what Mariana wants. That's really what it is. That Mariana does not really want, Mariana does not really want Stef and Lena to have this baby because she's very worried that it's going to replace her. And he also thinks Stef and Lena only offered taking the baby because of Mariana. And Mariana tries to talk to Anna about whether or not she wants to keep the baby, but they are interrupted by other things that happen because they don't really get to have a conversation about this, because at the same time there's also Jesus has now gotten this offer to go to boarding school because they feel it's the best thing for him and maybe he should be away. Plus there's the fact that Jake T. Austin got arrested and had to leave the show somehow, so they had to take him to boarding school. But it works really well because what they end up doing here I thought was really good, because then we get to the end of the episode, which this is where things just get crazy. Anna offers to drive Mariana and Jesus home because the rest of the family were other places. Stef and Lena were away to Jude and Callie, and during the ride, Anna starts to have these pains, and at first she does not think she's going into labor. She thinks they're only contractions, and we eventually realize that she is going into labor, and Mariana says the hospital's only a few blocks away, and before anything can happen, this car just smashes right into them, right where Jesus is sitting. I think they killed off Jesus. I really do. I mean, Jesus, the actor, he got into trouble with the law. I think that's their fuck you to him. I really do. I think that's their fuck you to Jesus. And how do I feel if they killed off Jesus? I really don't know how I feel if they killed off Jesus, but I think they did. I really feel like they killed off Jesus because it was right where he was sitting. Right where he was sitting. Jesus, I think, is dead. I think Mariana is hurt, but she's not dead. And I think Anna's okay, because it wasn't where Anna was. It was only where Jesus was. Whatever happens, Jesus is either dead or, very badly hurt. So, I would be very surprised if they did that, but I think they really did. I really feel like they killed off Jesus. I mean, just think about where they're heading with him. They haven't really had much to do with him besides him going off to boarding school. I really would not be surprised if they killed off Jesus. So, if they did, I wouldn't be surprised. But, yeah, that's really what happened there. And that right there, I have to read the Fosters individually when it comes back. I have to, because that, I need answers to that. And I need to tell you guys how I feel about that overall. But, holy shit, I can't believe that they would actually go for that, because I knew JT Austin was leaving the show, but I didn't think they'd go that far. They actually did. So, yeah, they killed off Jesus, and I don't know what's going to happen now. But, yeah, those are basically the 3 biggest plots this season. Now we're getting into some other stuff that's not as big, but I really do want to talk about. So, Mariana and her dance team. Of course, she does end up leaving, Tess's dance team because she doesn't trust her and everything. So, she ends up going to form this dance team with Tia, and eventually they need 6 dancers, so Jesus tells her that Emma used to be a cheerleader, and she ends up putting Emma in the dance team. She also ends up putting Callie in the dance team briefly, but she doesn't really want to be in it because she can't dance, but she doesn't have the heart to tell Mariana that she doesn't really want to be in the dance team, so she just tells her that she hurt herself and she can't really do it, and I thought it was good that she didn't want to tell her, but at the same time, Callie, you can just tell her the truth. You could have told her the truth, but she doesn't want to tell her the truth, so she doesn't, and Emma's put in the dance team, but Mariana ends up actually tripping over something. She sprains her ankle over Jesus' roller skate or something, and they need 6 dancers in order to compete, and basically, I love what they do. They decided to make this digital dancer to serve Mariana's place. It was honestly one of the highlights of the episode. It was really awesome to see, and they actually end up winning. The team's a clear winner, and they win that dance thing, which is awesome, and I love that. I thought that was really well done. That was great. I love that. So that's what happens with Mariana. Brandon, of course, Brandon is very conflicted with going on tour and also going to this summer music program because he keeps having offers about it, and he's really interested, and he doesn't want to tell Lou that it is his decision, so he makes it seem like his parents do not want him to go. In fact, at first, they are very conflicted. Stef and Lena don't know if it's the best thing, and Mike thinks that it is, and I really like that they were conflicting over it, but Stef and Lena tell him that they'll let him go if they want him to, and it really is his decision, and Brandon tells all of them that his parents don't want him to go, but he eventually tells the band, including Lou, that it was his decision not to go, and you can see that Lou's really upset about it. I pretty much think that Lou and Brandon are over. I mean, she's going on tour, he's going away. I don't really think that they're going to stay together. So Brandon's really nervous about his audition for the summer music program. He decides to ditch the band. He goes to a summer music program, and he plans to write this piece that he wrote, hoping that if his playing is less than perfect, they'll be impressed. He can also compose music, and he's late to the audition, but the woman lets him perform anyway, and his audition actually seems to go really well, and I thought overall that was a really well done storyline. Definitely really enjoyed that. So now we're getting into my only complaint for the season, Lena and Monte. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. The only reason Monte was introduced to this show is because Lena and Stef needed some sort of tension in their relationship, and they needed something to do. So they introduced an infidelity plot, which I thought was really stupid overall. Because here's the thing. We meet Monte. She's this straight girl who has gotten out of a relationship with her husband, and she seems completely straight. She seems like she's into guys. There was no way she was going to be with Lena. But then, of course, last week's episode, they have to introduce that Monte might like girls and might want to try it out. And in fact, Monte thinks that she might be bi now. And it just seems like they just created this to have an infidelity plot between Stef and Lena. And if that's really true, that is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. It really is. It's stupid. I don't like it. I think it is a stupid plot device just to get these two upset at each other. It's really dumb, and I hate this. I hate it. I really do hate this plot. I really do. And they end up celebrating with drink, and in the finale, they end up, basically, there was this whole thing with Timothy where they weren't sure if he should be a teacher anymore, and he actually does end up coming back, and I love that they each talked about how Monte was, how, Timothy was her favorite teacher and everything. I thought that was really good. And Lee ends up talking to Monte about problems she should be discussing with Stef because, that's who she should be talking to about this, not Monte. And their relation becomes really strange. It really does. They get this new grant for the school. They celebrate with drinks. And Lee ends up telling Monte that nothing in her life is okay now. She wishes she was excited about taking in Anna's baby, but she's not. And Monte comforts her with this hug. She goes in for a kiss. And despite being married to someone she really has no problems with, I don't even understand why she's doing this, because she clearly loves Stef, and why would she be with Monte if she doesn't love Stef? I don't understand. Monte says that she doesn't want this to happen anymore, and even though she said that, I still hate it. I really do. It just seems like it's a device to just create tension between Lena and Stef, and there's so much more you could have done. You could have had them argue over, the baby. You could have had them argue over anything, and this is what you do. It's really stupid. I hated it. I legitimately hate that plot. I think it's really dumb, and I'm not happy at all that they did that. I thought it was really stupid. Other than that, I loved this half of the season. I thought it was really good. I thought every plot worked really, really well. My only complaints I said was I feel like they dragged out the Callie storyline too long, and the whole Monte thing I just thought was really dumb overall. But overall, guys, I really love this half of the season, but there's so much to talk about now. Are they actually going to kill off Jesus? I feel like they are. I feel like they're going to go for it because, JT Austin is leaving the show to go off to, because he's going to jail and everything. I feel like that's what's going to happen, is that they're going to kill him off, and as much as a fuck you that is to JT Austin, he kind of does deserve it because of what he did. So I can understand if they do go for that, but we'll see what happens there. Jude and Connor, I love that these two are together now. I can't wait to see what happens between their relationship, and I thought that was overall really well done. Stef and Lena, they have not legally adopted Callie yet, but I definitely feel like Season 3 is going to be them trying to legally adopt Callie, which is going to be great to see. I can't wait to see what happens there. Anna, I still think, has that baby. I think she went into labor during that accident, and if that's true, then that baby's going to die now, because I don't think that baby's going to live. We'll see what happens. I just don't really think that baby's going to live. We'll see what happens there. Brandon and Lou, I think they're finished. I think Brandon is going to get into that summer music program, and that's what we're going to focus on now. I think that Brandon and Lou are pretty much over. And then Mariana's dance team, I really like seeing them work together. I like seeing Emma in a position other than Jesus' girlfriend. I definitely like seeing that, because I love Emma and Jesus together, but if you want to get Jesus off the show, make her best friends with Mariana. That works perfectly. I love that. I think it's really well done, and if they want to do that, I would really like that idea. So overall, guys, it's been a really solid season. I definitely really enjoyed pretty much everything that happened this season. There's a lot to talk about, definitely. Also, Robert, I think, is still going to be in Callie's life because, again, she told him she loved him. She really does care about him, and I think that we're going to see Sophia again. I really like Sophia now. I like what they've done with her. I like that she realized she has problems, and if they want to keep doing this with Sophia, I'm going to like her character a lot more than what they initially did with her at first. So overall, guys, I loved this half of the season, minus the Monte and Lena stuff. Will they finally close the storyline? I really hope they do. It's stupid. It's unnecessary. I don't like it. It just feels so out of place for a show that's so realistic and can have such a realistic plot with two gay people and things like that, and just show that stuff. It completely goes against everything the show is trying to do, which is just avoid stereotypes. The show has always done a very good job of avoiding stereotypes, and that's completely just a completely stupid plot device for a show that is not trying to be a soap opera, and if that's what they're trying to do, then I just find it to be really stupid. So what did you guys think of the season overall, guys? Overall, how was the season compared to Season 1? Season 1, I still think, was a bit better. I do think that it had some stronger stuff. Season 2, sometimes some things dragged on too long. That's my only problem with Season 2, is that things in Season 2 dragged on a little bit too long. I would have wanted some bigger, conclusion to things a little bit earlier. And it did, sometimes the season did feel a little bit too cluttered. I will say that. I understand everyone needs something to do. But there were times that this felt very cluttered, and they just need to focus on a few less storylines in Season 3, and it'll be a great season. But overall, I really enjoyed the season overall. Let me know what you guys saw this season. I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be our review for Bates Motel. So I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.